A little knowledge that acts is worth infinitely more than much knowledge that is idle. Khalil Gibran. My friends, a little knowledge, apply it every day. Continue to add to it 10 to 15 minutes. That is all we ask. Welcome our new Patreon members, all Patreon members. Please check your emails. We sent out to you tonight the 20 weekly vertical crossovers on the S&P 500. Backtrack those, find a couple or three candidates for practice trading, and get on it. Whether you want to practice trade puts, calls, stock purchases, whatever you're interested in, get on it. See how it works. Try, practice your backtracking, practice your practice trading. Remember, the buy-in point is tomorrow afternoon around 3:45. When you look at the market and see how all those charts are working, you will learn by doing. Those of you interested, go to the Patreon page and sign up. We appreciate all of the support. Now let's jump into these charts. Stocks and bonds up for the day. Gold and Bitcoin down. We're going to jump right into things as they are moving along. S&P up for the day, 0.34%. We look at the weekly chart. How higher are we? Well, let's check. The high, 470.48. The prior high, 470.23. The prior high, 470.65. So for the week, we've still not hit a higher high than we saw when that weekly vertical crossover occurred. But we do see candles are moving up. They are getting a little smaller, but they're staying right there above that weekly trend line. Price percent oscillator slowly pulling away from the red signal line. Derivative oscillator heading up. Today, we can see that sideways slide, but as it's trying to tick over and move up, of course, we had a bigger candle on the Monday, Tuesday. This Wednesday, Thursday candle has a little bit of down movement, but it is right there on that two-day trend line above the weekly. Price percent oscillator looks like it's just a bit more than flat. Derivative oscillator continues to lose upward momentum. That's the 2-day. We can see on the half-day chart, it is hard as all get out to draw any kind of trend line there on a negative trend line connecting two green candles. Remember, it's bottom up, top down, but not much of a trend line at all. The derivative oscillator still positive. Price percent oscillator still negative. So we'll wait and see if this market's going to get off the can and start moving up again strongly. You know, I heard a report this morning that we increased the money supply 40% more over the last 12 months than it had ever been. My friends, massive inflation. One reason when we look at these charts, and even after COVID drop is back there in 2020. We saw this market take off, and but for a few pullbacks, really three of them, three decent ones. Really, the latest one was probably the bigger of the three. We have just seen this market go up, go up, go up. People say, how long will it go up? What's happening? Why is this occurring? Look at the money printing. When you take the amount of dollars in circulation and you increase it 40%, don't you think prices might go up? We've not seen that reflected across the board, but it is stealing your savings. It is like a 40% tax potentially. So you've got to learn how to chart these markets, what to do with your money so that you don't lose everything. Real things tend to keep value. If you stay in cash, you're going to get burned. So learn to practice trade, learn to trade, work on this, figure it out. Look at cryptocurrencies, look at gold, look at everything. Study to show yourself approved. Let's keep going. What do we see on the weekly chart with the NASDAQ 100 up 1.04% up, booming, higher high. Price percent oscillator spiking. Derivative oscillator heading up. 2-day chart. Check it out. Nice green up candle. That prior high was $499. Of course, all the way up to $402.27. Nice to see. Price percent oscillator still heading up. Derivative oscillator is what's losing a little bit of momentum still. Look on this half-day chart. Again, nice movement up throughout the course of this week. Crossing over, going up in the morning on Thursday. So things are looking sweet on the NASDAQ 100, or as we affectionately call it, the Qs. Let's go to 20-year bonds. What are they going to do? Laminated price percent oscillator, red down candle for the week. Keep your eye on things. Got no idea. No idea. Derivative oscillator's positive. Price percent oscillator is just laminated right there. I mean, it is crazy. Technically, it's just a little bit under the red signal line. We'll see how things shape up. Keep your eye on it if you want to try to follow the direction of the of 20-year bonds. Remember, Tango. Let's see, Tango Bravo. Trying to remember what the short is of 20-year bonds. TBF. There we go. That's the short. And of course, if you look at TBF, it moves in the opposite direction of TLT. It's the single short ProShares 20-year bonds. So it is set up by the people who manage it to move in the opposite direction. In fact, I'm going to put at the end of today's video that training for you on inverse funds, how to make money in your practice trades when markets crash. And again, I think you'd find a lot from that. So we'll put that out for you. So that is what's happening with the weekly. Let's check out the 2-day. 2-day is flat also. We do have 3 down candles. Is going down lower in this latest one. Derivative oscillator still positive, losing momentum. Look at this half day. You can see where things ground down, and for a day and a half, they're trying to move up. So lots of indecision in bonds. We'll see if anything sorts out strongly on Friday. Otherwise, you might just leave it alone. Okay. Let's move on to gold. Gold down for the day, 0.32%. Okay week for gold. Didn't reach a higher high from the prior week, but a nice green up candle. Price percent oscillator heading up. Derivative oscillator heading up. 2-day. Again, 2-day, we can see where we've not reached a higher high yet, but that price percent oscillator is moving up. Derivative oscillators just flat. And on the half-day chart, you can see again where things are down in the morning, a little more in the afternoon. Not much of a half-day trend line there, but again, pulling away from the red signal line on the price percent oscillator, derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. So we'll continue to watch. Again, 2-day still looking okay. Weekly looking okay on gold. How high will gold go? Don't know, but we'll watch it. So far, it's been good to us with this latest weekly vertical crossover going up. Let's go to Bitcoin, down again, 1.39%. Red spinning top for the week. Price percent oscillator still positive but going down. Derivative oscillator losing momentum. That's for the first time in many, many weeks. Of course, what happened on the 2-day chart? We saw on Tuesday a confirmed crossover going down. Of course, what happened has continued down, pushed through the weekly trend line. Derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. Price percent oscillator heading down. That is our signal. Of course, and those of you who want to jump into a Bitcoin practice trade, this is great. Bitcoin's pulling back a little bit when it crosses back over on that 2-day going up like it did back on the 7th of October. Give you a little jumping in point somewhere around, here around the $50,000 mark, all the way up to a high of what? 67,000. So again, knowing how these charts work, charting these markets always gives you knowledge. And what is knowledge? Power. And what does power offer you? Many times money. Lots and lots of money. So learn to practice trade with us, figure out what's going on. We look at this half-day chart. And again, we can just see where Bitcoin is trundling down, having pushed through back on Tuesday of this week. The weekly trend line, we're just going to hang on, watch how low it's going to go, and when will it turn over and start moving back up again. That is where we are, folks, as we end the day on Thursday. Like I said earlier, Patreon members, check your emails. Also, remember, Patreon members, we also post at the Patreon page everything that we're putting out for you. So you can find those weekly vertical crossovers there too if you didn't get the email. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.